And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. We are nearing the end of the group stage. There are two best of threes remaining here tonight. One is between herO versus Clem. That'll be later on in the evening. And then we have a herO versus Elazer. We have that for you here and now. And this is an important one. Now, Creator cannot make it out of the group. He cannot make it out. Elazer can. Technically, if Elazer wins this series, and I believe if herO loses his series, then Elazer can actually surpass herO and make it out in third place instead. So a very important matchup for herO. Meanwhile, sorry, for Elazer and herO as well, actually. Really important for those two Zerg players. Meanwhile, herO, really this is for seeding purposes. I believe he will make it out regardless, if I'm not mistaken, but we'll see. The positions have not been secured. Yet. Here we go. We are getting into game one on Gressvan. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Gressvan, we have the South Korean Protoss player representing KZ Gaming, DKZ. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Polish Zerg player representing Team Liquid. It is Elazer. Here we go. Elazer getting ready for a hatch gas pool opener. The probe has arrived to force the unnatural natural out of Elazer. But again, the pressure is on him to get damage. Sorry, to really make an upset happen here. To overcome the might that is herO. Can he do what herO could not? I mean, Elazer and herO, they're very different kinds of players. They're stylistically very different. So I'm sure Elazer will have a very different approach. And he may have the answer to the problem that is herO. May have it. But now though, hatch gas pool opener from Elazer. Standard stuff, very economic. Likewise, herO going for a gate expand. Bit of a more greedy opener out of herO, going for the expansion before the Cybercore, so just a little bit more economic. And he can afford to get away with it against a player like Elazer. Elazer, he's more macro-oriented, more economically focused. And that is something that herO can, again, use to his advantage. Outside of that, we are going to be settling things down. We have seen a lot of sky toss out of herO. We saw him rush into a fleet beacon on Neo Humanity earlier. We also saw him go Mass Phoenix on altitude. And again, those maps specifically, they favor that kind of play. Altitude, it's very large. It's very difficult to punish via ground attacks. Likewise, Neo Humanity is very defensive. There are a lot of defensive features to that map, and you can, get away with being a little bit more greedy and cutting corners. Gressvan is an interesting one. It is a very large map, and when it comes to a late game, like you can take 3, 4, 5 bases pretty easily. We have seen a lot of late game Skytoss versus Zerg on Gressvan, but not every time. I don't know if herO necessarily wants to head in that direction, just because on this map, even ground pushes early on especially can be quite potent. We'll see. We shall see which direction we go in. For now, Adept is zooming across the map. Going to be getting an eye on the third base. Doesn't delay it, but gets an eye on it. Making sure that no additional gases have been taken. No fast tech. Nothing too crazy out of Elazer. herO, he does want to get done dirty. Not here at the end of the night. Not yet. herO is just going to be going for a Stargate opener into Oracle. Standard stuff, nothing too crazy. I mean, I guess we should put emphasis on that because previously we did see a Void Ray first and even a Phoenix first out of herO. Speaking of, we do have a Void Ray second out of the first Oracle. Very unexpected. The Queens, they body block. Oh, the Adept is stuck. Adept could not get on top of that drone. Good control out of Elazer, shutting down the Adepts. The Oracle dips into the main, but the Queens are in position as well. Oracle does ignore them, and he's going to be able to get a couple of drones. 2 workers go down. But only 2. We do deal some hull damage. And herO, what is your plan with this? Void Ray is going to be hunting down these Overlords. And we're going for another Oracle behind this. Okay. So an interesting ordering here for herO. He's actually looking for one of the more exposed Overlords out across the map. Being a little bit greedy. Oracle dives in, gets another 2 drones. Gets out barely with its life. And the Void Ray will get an Overlord across the map. Could even get a second, actually. These Overlords are looking very exposed. Elazer, he has to bring everything back. And herO, he gets 2. He may even get a 3rd. Back at home, he's transitioning into a more ground-oriented army. We have a Forge, Twilight Council, and a Robo. All the tech is on the way. And herO, he doesn't take his chances trying to get a 3rd Oracle here. He's going to get the, 3rd Overlord here. He's going to be looking to get an Overlord across the map instead. He's hunting it down. He's looking for it. We'll see if he finds it. We shall see. As Elazer is just going to be saturating his bases, we have a 4th on the way, as well as that Roach Warren. The Overlord was found out and is going to be hunted down. And oh my, herO, okay. Going for a much more passive approach. So instead of a gateway explosion, herO, he only has 4 gateways. He does have blink and +1 on the way, but just because of his low gateway count, he's going to be taking a more defensive position here, and he's taking up immediately into double Robo Colossus production. So a very kind of defensive approach here from herO. Very tech heavy. Now, if Elazer can recognize what's going on, he can take advantage of this by droning heavily. Just droning, expanding, also taking up into Hive, throwing down an Infestation Pit. Ideally, as a Zerg player, you want to take advantage of the freedom that the Protoss is giving you. Or you could go for an all-in. Or an all-in could also punish this as well. There it is. Infestation Pit is in production. We have our upgrades. We have that 4th base. We're going to be saturating it, droning up to around 80. We could even throw down another hatchery. But we have to, we have to make sure we don't get too greedy and too overzealous. There's a fine line between, getting away with something and, overextending and dying as a result. Do you have a Prism dipping into the main? Oracles are hitting the field. We do have the first 2 Colossus. But again, we're going to be looking to hit a timing with the next wave of production, not the first. As Elazer is going to be cutting workers here at 80. Does lose a couple, so he's going to have to replace them. Meanwhile, the Infestation Pit is done. We now have access to Hive tech. There it is. Hive is on the way. And this will grant access to Vipers. Vipers, Lurker upgrades. There it is. The third and 4th Colossus are in production. Oracles get a couple more workers. And here he's just harassing. He's just picking up these Puke Tumors. Trying to maintain control of the map. Does get that last active tumor before he rotates around. And herO is now going to be getting ready for his push. Meanwhile, Elazer doing well for himself. I do think that he could have had a faster Hive overall. I do think that could have been the case. As Elazer is now about to max out on Ling Roach Ravager. Spire, Hive is done, Adrenal. Is this all done in time, though? I don't think we're going to have a Viper for the first push. I'll be honest. I think it's a bit too late. We'll see. Here we go. As herO is pushing through the center of the map. He has 4 Colossi. Extended Thermal Lance. +1. About to be 1-1. This is a very powerful timing out of herO. Oh, Elazer out of position. He's going to bleed out a lot of roaches. Not a good start. Elazer's in trouble. He is in trouble. Base is going to fall. Banelings are on the way. Baneling's speed, not... it barely started. Elazer was not ready for this. We were talking about it earlier. There was a fine line here with what you could get away with and what you couldn't. Banelings, they waddle on in. They're going to get decent connections on the Colossus, I guess, but the Roach army is crumbling. This push is just too powerful. And Elazer was not ready for it. Again, Banelings are doing well for themselves. One Colossus goes down. But we just warp in the face of Elazer. GG gets called, and herO takes game number 1. GG. A very powerful push coming in from herO. Just crippling and punishing or killing Elazer just before he could make use of his hive, before he had Baneling speed. It was an unfortunate start as well to bleed out so many roaches just before the fight started. So again, you could see that there were just a couple of areas that Elazer just wasn't quite there in time. And herO does take that first game. And with that, Elazer, he's got some catching up to do. He is down in this series, and he needs to fight back here and now to try to bring down herO. Again, specifically with what herO was up to, it was really difficult for Elazer. There's something that I didn't bring up, and that is the Void Ray. Like, the initial Void Ray, it means that it's so much more difficult for Elazer to realize and scout what herO is doing and be able to react in time. Elazer, his reaction and his greed taking up into hive tech and all that stuff, that was delayed just because it took him longer to realize what herO was doing, just because of that Void Ray, because of the lack of overlords, the lack of scouting. So it all kind of, for herO, it all played into itself. It all led up to making sure that the Zerg player would not be prepared in time for a very crisp timing. And here we go. Now we're getting into our next game. It's game number 2. The last time we were here, herO did rush into Skytos. He rushed into carriers. We'll see if he does the same. And we'll see if Elazer can try to keep up with him. And here we go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Neo-Humanity, we have the South Korean Protoss player representing CranKy Gaming, leading the series 1-0. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Polish Zerg player representing Team Liquid. It is Elazer. Here we go. Again, Elazer may be down, and it's a best of 3 though, so he can come back in this series. He can bring it all back here and force the ace match. I want to believe. As he is going for a hatch first, force to take the unnatural natural over at that triangular 3rd location. And herO is just looking to be a nuisance. Just going to be harassing the mineral line. Forcing a drone out of Elazer as well. And we have confirmation it's hatch gas pool. So again, standard opener, standard stuff from our Zerg. And meanwhile, across the map, herO should be going for a gate expand. If you remember last game, he went for an altitude, if you remember. He went for a gate cyber expand, but much more economic this time from herO. You can get away with this on this map. It is defensive enough. So a little bit more greed out of our Protoss as we get into our early game. Now, I haven't done the math. I'm not too sure if a 2-1 win for Elazer is good enough to have a better score than Raynor. If Raynor gets 2-0'd by Clem. I don't know if that's... I don't know if Elazer still has a chance, is what I'm saying. I don't know if he had to 2-0 or not. So I'm a little bit in the dark as to that. But a shout out to, of course, the Wikipedia admins and the Wikipedia editors for putting in a lot of work over on the bracket and updating it as quickly as they can. Big shout out to Cynical, to Kashim, and to all the other contributors. Much love, much love. Got a lot of respect for them. A lot of respect. We used to do our fair share of the Wikipedia editing back in the day. Got my silver coin. Let's go. But for now, it is going to be a Stargate opener from herO. Nothing too crazy. I mean, I say that. We've seen herO go for different variations, going for Phoenixes, Void Rays, even Oracle into Void Ray. This time, Void Ray first. Oh, this is... I'm getting some flashbacks. I'm getting some flashbacks here of his series against Raynor. Oh, not again, Bobby. Not again. And it almost worked. If you remember, like, herO almost 2-0'd Raynor on Near Humanity. If only he hadn't been a little bit over-eager with his attack. Again, I do highly recommend checking out that series. Was only a couple of hours ago. As the Void Ray does arrive, is going to be shutting down the Overlord. I'm sure Elazer was watching the previous series. I'm sure he was watching herO versus Raynor. Additional gases are being taken. herO should be working on his third. Likewise, the Void Ray is here to force these lings away. To allow this third to get up and running. Show us your follow-up. Show us your transition here. I'm ready for the... Yeah. For the Sky Toss. Give it to us, Papi. Give it to us. Second Stargate is on the way now. To be fair, we don't have a Fleet Beacon yet, so we could see something a little bit different from herO. As he gets 3, oh my god, 4 worker kills. I haven't seen herO go Mass Oracle in a hot minute. It's been like 2 months since I've seen herO go Mass Oracle. Forge is on the way. We are continuing Oracle production for now. We do have that third Oracle on the way for herO. And are we going to get even more? Yeah, we are. Let's go. This is going to be Mass Oracle. So, for those who maybe weren't watching herO a couple of months ago, I want to say around April, May-ish, herO had a build that annihilated Dark so many times in the ESL Open Cups. So this is going to be Mass Oracle, and it should be with Zealots on the ground. I think we're going to be working on +1. And it's typically charge lots, but I wonder if this is a different variation from herO. But Mass Oracle Zealot was a cheeky build that herO would do very frequently, and has been doing very frequently, especially earlier in the year. And it looks like he's going for a variation of that. No Twilight Council, though, so no ground-based upgrades. And Elazer is cutting workers. Elazer is going for a Roach Queen all-in. Uh-oh. So how does this fare? How does this finally there's that Twilight Council for the charge, but lings have arrived, and Elazer is making nothing but roaches. He has Overlord speed on the way. The Drop Lords have arrived, and Elazer is going all in. And against Mass Oracle, I think I want to favor Elazer. I don't think Elazer, he hasn't seen anything. He doesn't know what's happening. He's just going for his builds, and he's rolling the dice. He's flipping a coin, and I think it works out for him. The Mass Oracles have been revealed, and if they waste their energy killing workers, like, this is devastating. I mean, sure, drones are dying, but I don't think Elazer cares. He doesn't have workers to begin with. Uh-oh. And here we go. The lings have arrived. The queens is what we have to recall back home. But even with the recall, we already wasted so much energy. We're running out. A creep is being spread, and this base is being broken. Elazer is doing it. herO, being a little bit too cheeky, was hoping that Elazer was going to be more standard. But alas, Elazer was anything but standard. Was looking to end the game here and now. 23 probes fall. And yeah, the base has been broken. herO, does he have anything left? He's got a couple of Stalkers. He's got Blink on the horizon. He's got a couple of oracles as well. But Elazer, he can bust into the natural. There's just nothing in his way. We have an overcharge. We do have an overcharge, but God, it's not enough to stop the swarm. The queens, they can transfuse. We can control, we can juggle, Papi. Let's go. The queens are being juggled as well. And it looks like herO is barely gonna hold on. He barely cleans this up. But he lost so much. He lost his base. The creep is being spread, so he has to slowly, deal with this so he can actually expand again. He will soon have Blink, but Elazer from here, he can freely tech up into Hydras. We are lacking spores. My biggest concern here is the lack of spores. But it looks like herO cannot contest these queens. He doesn't have the energy for it. And Elazer is looking to force the ace match. He's up in workers. He's soon to be up in tech with those Hydras. herO, he's forced to expand here on the right-hand side. And he's going to be able to dive on these queens. He can focus some of them down. Oh. And here we go. herO is not going to take this line down. He does push out across the map. Takes down the Dropper Lord. But there are links to support. herO, he does not have enough. It was a cheeky maneuver. I appreciated it, but... Elazer, he has enough to fend this off. He is pushing pretty far off of creep. I'm concerned that Elazer may be also throwing away too much. He is getting some stalkers, to be fair. Nah, he's okay. Pushes the way across the map, takes down the pylon, a shield battery. Lings are reinforcing. Hydra's on the way behind this. And the creep highway is upon us. Elazer, if he wanted to, he could saturate this fourth base and drone and head towards a hive and a lurker den and all that stuff. But again, Elazer, he doesn't need to. He knows that herO is struggling right now. And all Elazer needs to do at this point is focus on his Hydra timing. There is no splash damage. Not yet. We do have Storm on the way. Okay, there is a world. Because Elazer isn't droning, there's a world where if Elazer takes a bad fight, if he takes like 2 or 3 big storms on the Hydras, then maybe herO can come back. Maybe. herO does have 4 High Templar gathering energy. They're on the way. Elazer is looking to max out. There is a world where herO could maybe take a fight. It's unlikely, don't get me wrong. Up! Oh, big stasis trap. Takes down a good chunk of the Hydras and the Roaches. Not the best storms. Mainly storming the stasis units. Better storm here. But again, not ideal. Oof. And that was I think there's only 1 storm left in the chamber. Only 1 storm available for herO. Now the stasis trap is going to be going off. We dive on top of these Hydras. Big storm, though, on the Hydras and the Roaches. Is it enough? It looks like it barely is. herO, he dives on forward. He takes down the army. And because Elazer wasn't droning, he doesn't have an amazing economy. This is still very close. Uh-oh. herO, the storms were good enough. He's getting on top of the Hydras. These are expensive losses for Elazer. No shot. No shot. Is herO doing this? Is he breaking on through? Lings, they do come in from behind. The Archons are getting surrounded. The High Templar is exposed. The High Templar does go down. No more storms. herO, can he make the impossible happen? He's being forced back. Reinforcements are coming in. herO, he's losing too much. Too many Stalkers are bleeding out. And it looks like Elazer is holding on. That was close, though. That was a pretty terrifying moment. GG gets called. Elazer does take game number 2, and we are going to the ace match. GG. Whew, that was herO though, he almost pulled off the impossible, almost came back. You can see Elazer smiling there on the camera, just recognizing that maybe that was a little bit closer than it should have been. But we are going to game 3, to the ace match. Here we go. And again, Elazer still has a chance. He still has a chance to get out of this. Oh, no, never mind. So I was really curious earlier. I was really curious if Elazer needed a 2-0 or a 2-1. And it looks like Elazer needed a 2-0. He needed a 2-0 to make his way into top 3. Because he lost game 1, I don't think Elazer can make it out. But regardless, really, really good showing there in game 2. And can he take the series? He can still influence the overall standings. I want to believe. I want to believe. Here we go. The name caught me off guard, but I love it. Oatmeal is delicious. Oatmeal can be delicious. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I actually have oatmeal. I could eat it today. I was thinking what I should have for dinner after the cast. I suddenly have a craving for oatmeal. Regardless, GG. We are going to the ace match. We are going to game number 3. It's going to be on Ancient Cistern. Oof. Here we go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ancient Cistern, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the best Protoss in all of South Korea, arguably the best Protoss in the world, representing CranKy Gaming. It is herO. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Polish Zerg player fighting back, tying up the series 1-1, representing Team Liquid. It is Elazer. Here we go. The question is that what do you put in your oatmeal? What do you put in it? Fruits? Honey? Dried fruits? Cinnamon? Regardless, we are getting into this, and yeah, shout out to Elazer here for forcing the ace match in the end, really taking it to herO. But we'll see how this story does conclude. Winding it back, I should also put emphasis as well that that was so unlucky for herO. As a reminder, blindly, there was a lot of blind dark play going on right now, where going in that game, where Elazer, he never scouted the main base of herO. He had no idea that herO was going Mass Oracle. Of all things, herO was going Mass Oracle against a Roach Queen all-in. And likewise, herO didn't know how aggressive Elazer was being. Like, both players were in the dark. They were just doing their own thing. They rolled the dice, they flipped coins, they gambled, and Elazer, he got lucky. You know, he hit jackpot, and herO had maybe the worst luck of the draw there when it came to the units available to defend against the all-in. So a very powerful start there from Elazer as a result. We saw, though, that despite that, herO almost clawed his way back in. Like, that just goes to show like how terrifying of an opponent herO is, and how good his Blink Stalker micro is as well. He arguably has the best Blink Stalker micro in the world. And yeah, he almost came back. It was crazy. He almost took down Elazer despite the deficit, despite being so far behind. And here we go. Now we're getting into our next game. Once again, a Stargate opener out of herO, but just because it's a Stargate doesn't mean it's standard play. We've seen Mass Phoenix, we've seen Mass Oracle, we've seen Sky Toss, Carrier Rush. herO, he can do it. He could even go into Blink Stalkers. Doesn't even have to commit to the Sky Toss. The world is herO's oyster. Now, hopefully this time we've got a little bit more scouting going on, though, as it is going to be a Void Ray first. Okay. Here we go. I've eaten oats for dinner. Yeah, we've all been there, Papi. You gotta do what you gotta do. I mean, mate, I've had cereal for dinner. Sorry, cereal for dinner. Of course, of course. Which isn't the worst. Now Overlord dips in, does confirm the Void Ray. We are going into a very fast fire counter behind this. This is looking like the beginnings here of Glaive Adepts. Oh, with a Robo as well. Interesting. So usually when we have a Glaive Adept follow-up from a Stargate opener, we warp into Adepts at home and we just send them across the map. But herO is being so much more aggressive here. With this Robo, we have a Gateway Explosion. 4 gates in total for the time being. We'll see what kind of direction that herO does tech in. Again, no. Oh my god, he's not going for glaives. He's rushing into Archons. Is this going to be a slow lot all in? Is this going to be an Archon slow lot all in out of herO? I mean, only 4 gateways for now. He can still throw down a third. This could just be a... no, there we go, this charge. I was going to say that this could just be an offbeat Archon drop, which Creator does. Creator does variations of this quite often. But Creator doesn't usually go for a Stargate first. There it is. Third is on the way. herO is working on that Prism. And he can warp in those High Templar for map control. Meanwhile, we have a massive surge of Lings coming across the map, looking to deny this third. But Adepts are in position. The Void Ray as well. Don't know how much these Lings can really get done. Oh! Oh my god, they do get a surround! Oh, the Adept positioning was just not good enough. The Adepts are going to go down, and now we can go for the Nexus. herO, he's going to be knocked down to 2 bases. And there's nothing that herO can do. That is a kill, not a cancel. Oh my god. herO. He's falling apart. This is too much. He's banking so much here on this drop. Meanwhile, 4 gateways are on the way. This is going to be an 8-gate, 2-base all-in. I don't think this was the initial plan, but it's what herO has to do at this point. Archons, they dive into the main base. They're going for the drones. Oh my god. Archons are doing well for themselves. The Queen goes down. 7 drones fall. And it gets a Ling-based army. Archons, they do reign supreme. As long as we can juggle. There we go. We do pick up those Archons behind this. Again, we have that Gateway Explosion. Pylons are on the way. Ooh, herO is supply blocked. He's been slipping up a lot this game. But because of the supply block herO, he's going to be missing warp-ins. He isn't going to be able to reinforce. Does he throw down a third? He hasn't done enough damage. He has to commit. There it is. 6 more Zealots are warped in. Void Ray is coming out. But this is delayed though. This is a delayed push from herO. And this does give Elazer time to rebuild and remax. Lings are going for a counterattack. They're going to be denying the third. But we didn't care about that. There is no third. Roaches are already in production. Queen's coming in from behind. Do we have enough charge lots? That's a lot of charge lots, Papi. Oh. As else, they collapse on top of the Queens. There's not a venture for transfuse. The Queens are going to be going down. Lings are coming in from behind. They get a surround on the Immortal, but the Immortal is saved by the Prism. Good positioning out of herO. He's getting another warp in. The Void Ray is going to go down. But these Zealots and Archons, oh god, they've just gotten so much value. Again, amazing juggling from herO. He's collapsing on this army. He may have lost the Nexus earlier, but really he was luring Elazer into a false sense of security. GG gets called, and herO takes the series 2-1, pulling off the 2-base all-in. GG. Again, I don't think that was the initial plan. I don't think it was supposed to be a 2-base all-in, but, you know, life gives you lemons, and herO, he does his best as impression. He does go for the 2-base all-in. GG, well played. herO does take the series in the end, and Elazer will not be getting out of this group. But we have one best of 3 left. We are going to Europa. Pack your bags. We're going back to Europe because up next, the final best of 3, Clem versus Raynor. We'll see you soon.